Genesis Vision. Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Crypto Lark from Wellington here. Today we're going to be talking about Genesis Vision, decentralized platform for trust management. What the heck does that mean? We're going to be looking into all of that and more after a quick shout out to everyone who has been hitting that like button. Of course, everybody who has been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, button's just down there. Go ahead and hit it up to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is not professional financial advice, guys. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. Let's check it out. Now, why are we talking about Genesis Vision at all? Well, it has crushed the poll this week for the community coin, so people are very, very excited about this. There's a lot of hype around Genesis Vision at the moment, being called, as they like to say themselves, the next step in the evolution of financial markets. That all sounds very exciting. What does it mean, though? Well, if you want to get into how it works, basically what they are doing are using smart contracts to set it up in a way where you can invest money with a fund manager and have them honestly deal with your investment. Now, the honestly part is where we start off in this journey. Essentially, what has happened is that you have a situation right now where there's no trust, or there's very little trust. A lot of people want to get involved in investing. People understand there's money to be made, and it's not just in crypto, it's in Forex and stocks and all these things. But for the average Joe to go and get involved, and even the average Joe millionaire or Joe billionaire, they want to make someone else do it. They got the money, but they don't have the time. I'm a doctor, I'm a businessman, I ain't got time to do this stuff. So they give it off to a fund manager. They give their money, and then what? You don't really know currently. This is the problem. There isn't a lot of transparency. Once your money goes in, something happens to it. You hope to get more back than you put in. And that's basically what it comes down to. Now, it shouldn't be like that. Obviously, you should know exactly the trade history that your fund manager is doing. You should know exactly how much was made. Did you get a fair share of the profits? Did they charge too much in fees for that trade? All of this stuff and more currently exists in a black space. People don't really know what the heck is going on. Not to mention, of course, all the Ponzi schemes and the straight up fraud that has made people even more scared of investing their money into what could otherwise be very profitable ventures for both the investor and, of course, for the fund managers. Now, if you are an investor, why the heck would you want to use Genesis Vision? Well, there's a lot of advantages here. First off, you're able to choose who your fund manager is going to be. You can actually look around and say, hey, I like that guy. That guy's got a really good rating. This guy makes X percentage for his investors. That's cool. I want to go with that guy. You can invest cryptocurrencies, or you can invest in fiat. So both those avenues are open for you. That's really cool. The process is, of course, transparent. Obviously, that was the problem that Genesis Vision was looking to solve. So you actually know all of the details of what's happening. If you would like to have a diverse portfolio, well, that's possible too. You want to have a low risk portfolio? Done. High risk portfolio? Done. You can do that. Now, as well, you can, of course, verify the trade history of these different fund managers, which helps prevent the fraud aspect of it, at least to an extent. I'm sure there'll be always people trying to game every system out there, but it should eliminate a certain percentage of that at least. If you are a fund manager and you are already killing it, why would you want to use Genesis Vision at all? That's an interesting question, actually. If you think you're actually benefiting as a fund manager from the lack of transparency, that you're able to kind of screw your customers a little bit, well, you're probably not going to be so interested in Genesis Vision, keeping it fair. But for all of the fund managers out there who are honest and are infuriated by all the guys who are dishonest and screwing everybody and giving them a bad name, well, you're in luck. Got just the platform here for you. Now, not to mention the fact that we have the ability to bring in new money. Cross-country investments, things that were previously only available to perhaps the richer of investors, whereas average Joe investor might be able to invest money with the guy in New York or down the street in Atlanta, for example, might not have access to the markets in Moscow or Tokyo, for example, but he might want to. Something to keep in mind. Now, that's a niche market. That Atlanta investor wants to invest in, you know, Tokyo markets, but nevertheless, that person exists, and that person might have a lot of money. That might be a doctor in Atlanta, and he is now enabled, or she enabled, to do those cross-country investments. So that's really cool. And you might also think, well, how do I know that, you know, I'm going to be able to move my investments around, for example, and different things like this? Well, there's also the ability to have branded cryptocurrencies that trade within the platform. So, for example, if you're a manager of a particular fund, you can have your own branded cryptocurrency, which can be freely traded by the investors. So you can actually get in, be in it for 3 months, and go, you know what, I want out, and trade it on the marketplace. Someone else can come by and buy that. That is really important, and we're seeing a lot more of that tokenization option coming in, where you can easily buy and then sell your investment. I think that's a really important factor here to keep in mind. And of course, if you are a broker, well, why would you want to do this as well? Well, of course, this is taking away the centralization, which is always good. Participation in the network is free. Everybody has the same terms. And of course, again, you can attract investors from all around the world. Great. Not to mention, of course, the benefits that the Genesis Vision software is going to be able to bring in for you. So there's a lot of wins here for everybody involved. And we see this space developing a lot more in the way where, yeah, everybody can win. Everybody can still make money. In fact, everybody can make more money than they were making before without being greedy and screwing people. In fact, those actors can be sidelined altogether. Now, the team over at Genesis Vision has got a lot of connections. They've been working for quite a while in the space, and so they've got 250 companies from 30 different countries that are already interested in this. So they've definitely got the people on board. Now, as far as the token itself, all investment operations on the platform will be executed in GVT tokens. That's pretty big. If they start doing massive business, that puts a huge demand out for Genesis Vision tokens. So that is very interesting. Now, there's no dividend or anything like this. It is not such a token, although as the demand for it increases, you can certainly see that there is that real potential for this token to come through. Moving on to the roadmap. Now, the roadmap, you got to keep in mind here, if you are going to invest in Genesis Vision, you got to hold on to it at least until 2019. Now, the alpha version will be coming out sometime early 2018. That's going to be bringing in MetaTrader. It's going to be bringing in the partner brokers. Remember that 250 number we threw out earlier? I think that's actually gone up to 400 now, actually. So that's going to be bringing those people in. The beta will come out later. That will bring in crypto exchanges. But if you want to see the full version, that's not coming out until 2019. Really important that if you are going to be getting involved in Genesis Vision, try to take the long term on this. Try to think, wow, what's it going to be worth when it's actually being used by lots of brokers, lots of exchanges, lots of people are getting in here, a lot of money is being transferred around. So that is definitely something that you do need to take into account. In fact, all the way up to 2020 until we see version 2. So at least 2019, preferably 2020 if you are going to get involved in this one. Now the team here is really interesting. So this is a team based out of St. Petersburg in Russia. Now these guys have got a fantastic array of experience. Let's just look at Ruslan here, and you'll get an idea of the kind of experience that the team is bringing forward. So he's been a software engineer for quite a while, and the one that really sticks out to me here is the principal software developer of the St. Petersburg Stock Exchange. That is pretty cool experience. So they've definitely got the technical know-how. They also have the industry knowledge. So that is really cool. Not to mention, they've managed to attract fantastic advisory board. Charlie Shrem has been out stumping for them, promoting the project. Konstantin from Changely, big project as well. Dimitrios from Likey, now he is the Chief Business Development Officer over there. We've also got lots of different people from different blockchain to different investing advisories. So lots of people supporting the project that have really good experience in the industry, which should help pull it forward. Now, if we go and have a look at the current market space, it's only $17.5 million as a market cap. We have seen it a little bit higher than this. It was up to about $7 recently. So it's definitely got some potential here to get that forward momentum. In fact, up to 841 actually back in late November. 3.7 million circulating supply. That is not massive by any means. Now, it has that great psychological effect that you're going to buy a $5 token and it can easily go to a $100 token. In fact, a $50 token would only be a 10x on the market cap, and that would put you at 170 million for market cap. I could certainly see that happening definitely by the time that version 1 comes out, if not higher. Once we start seeing it get used, this has got a lot of potential moving forward as a project. Now, this is not the only wealth management fund investment tool. Swissborg as well, they're going through their ICO at the moment. They are developing similar investment tools. Even the guys over at Ethos are also developing these kind of investment tools. It is very popular. If you compare it, for example, to Ethos, Ethos is worth much, much more as a market cap currently. Swissborg is asking for a huge amount of money in comparison as well. So these are all things to consider if you do want to get involved with Genesis Vision. And finally, if you want to pick yourselves up some Genesis Vision, Binance is, of course, the place to do it. Surprise! You can also grab some over on KuCoin or EtherDelta or HitBTC. They're out there too if you want to pick some up as well. Anyway, guys, I think it's a really interesting project. What do you think about it? Hit me up down below in the comment section. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time, guys.